Ladies and gentlemen, there's been an updated box office tracking for Snow White's film that is coming out in 3 weeks' time. Now, this already proves that Rachel Zegler's upcoming film is going to be a total disaster at the box office. Let me put it this way. If it opens to these numbers that I'm going to call out right now, Disney will lose hundreds of millions of dollars at the box office. The Hollywood Reporter's new tracking for Snow White is between $53 million dollars, and they say that on the low side, it's tracking to on the low side, it should be at least $48 million dollars. That's how they've put it in context. That this film is tracking between $48 million dollars to $58 million dollars. This is the new tracking that just surfaced yesterday. And that's what I'm bringing to you guys right now. And this is not good. Make no mistake about this. This is not a good sign for Disney. Disney will not want a project like this to open this badly. They know it. They know that they don't like a project they've sunk in over $200 million dollars to be this pathetic in performance at the box office. Rachel Zegler, Gal Gadot, nobody can save this project at this point. It's just dead. If you go back to Box Office Pro many weeks back when I made my initial box office projection video, I said that Box Office Pro estimated the film will open between 65 million to 85 million dollars. That was about a month ago. It's no longer the case right now. And this numbers, this updated tracking is terrible. It is terrible. Between 48 million to 58 million. That means if this film doesn't even have legs, let's say it does a 2.5x multiplier in the US, it will only earn $135 million in the US alone. That is beyond a disaster for Disney. Disney will not want this kind of revenue. They will never want this kind of revenue, no matter how you want to look at it. Disney wants something better than this. So let me continue because this is not a good sign in many respects. Now, if you go back to December, Disney released Mufasa, the Lion King. Now, that film opened to a measly $35.4 million dollars in December. But the difference is that at least that film, went on to make over $700 million dollars at the box office worldwide. Did it break even? I wouldn't say it did. I wouldn't say it didn't because it's touch and go in terms of how much that film cost and how much it finally ended up earning. So I would say it's touch and go that it broke even. But I would say this: Rachel Zegler's current Snow White is tracking on the same level as Mufasa. Mufasa ended up making 35 million, even though it was estimated to earn at least 60 plus million in December in its first weekend. And this film is tracking less than that. This is not a good sign. Disney is already panicking. Now, if we're looking at comparisons, Disney's live action Cinderella film that made its debut in 2015 made 67.8 million in its opening weekend. Even that wasn't that great at the time, but there's a difference. That Cinderella project ended up making Disney over $500 million dollars when it was all said and done at the box office. Then fast forward to the recent The Little Mermaid film. That film flopped for Disney because of the budget, the excessive budget, and the fact that that film only earned $569 million dollars worldwide and could not break even for Disney. It needed 625 million to break even. It didn't break even for Disney. Disney knows this, that they did not get money from that project. Similar to other big projects that they've lost money in recent times. But one thing I will say right now is that Rachel Zegler's controversies have put Bob Iger in a tight corner. Two videos that I've made in the past few days, let's say in a space of 1 week, I've talked about the fact Disney has changed her skin tone in a recent international poster they released. They bleached her skin. to make her look literally white like the original cartoon uh, portrayal. But this is not even the only thing they're doing now. They have pushed her to stop insulting fans in front of the media. They are making her, at least they are forcing her to not call out fans or sound derogatory about fans when she's being interviewed. I talked about her recent interview with Vogue magazine, at least the Mexican Vogue magazine, where she was all about the fans are passionate, that's why they're criticizing her project. But that's not just the only thing. The fact is that Rachel Zegler called half of the US population toxic and said that they will never know peace because they supported, they voted for Donald Trump to win the presidential elections. And because she's a very toxic activist, she keeps on attacking the male audience. It's no longer news. And this is why this project is going to fail massively for Disney. I will say this for a fact. The only way Disney can see a way to earn some money from this project if they find a way to stop promoting Rachel Zegler in any material that relates to this film, like getting her to do interviews or go on some press tours or stuff like that. That's the only realistic chance I can see for this film having a little bit of break at the box office. Rachel Zegler has never had a film that made more than $350 million worldwide. I have to break this for you guys. The only film that came close to $350 million for Rachel Zegler was the lowest grossing Hunger Games film, which is the ballad Songbirds and Snake. That film made $348 million at the box office, and that film was still considered a failure. Yes, of course, it made back its budget because it had a smaller budget, but it wasn't literally a success at the box office for Lionsgate in many ways because they can't say they will come back to continue the franchise out after the low performing numbers they got. So look, to cut this short at this point, Disney are in panic mode. Rachel Zegler's latest film Y2K from 3 months back was a huge disaster, and that's even a small project for A24. That film only made $4.4 million worldwide. So this is already a massive problem for Disney. Bob Iger will be scratching his head. The director, Mark Webb, obviously knows this is going to be one of the biggest flops that he will ever have as a director. I don't see Mark Webb doing anything. Even Gal Gadot, as much as I love the lady, won't save this project. It's already doomed from the start and it's a failure. Share your thoughts down below, guys. If you like this new updated box office reports, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Do like our content. I'll see you guys very much next time.